Welcome to my channel. My name is Valerio, and today we're going to review the 3-charger ENG. This is a die-cast model from Post Plus, and I'm not sure you can still find it. I think it's sold out, and I don't think many copies made out of it. This comes from the Anime Zillion, as far as I can remember. And, well, inside of this box, we're going to look very, very quickly what there is. First, accessories, then, the figure, and the vehicle. This is almost a perfect transforming figure, almost. And then we're going to make for conclusion. Now, if you never bought anything from Post Plus, it's a bit of a mixed bag. In the years, they've produced a great model, and some that are a tiny bit less great, some that have very high price, and some that are more affordable. So it's a bit all over the place, honestly. So expectation for this kit are not particularly high. However, we'll see through it if I was wrong or not. Now, let's look at accessories. And normally on this channel, when I have too many accessories and too small, I don't put it on the table. I just look at the blisters. And this is what I had to do here. Now, we'll show you a tiny bit more in detail, but fundamentally, there is a manual that shows the transformation accessories, and there is a nice QR code. This is a tiny kind of display bit that you can attach to the buggy mod out of it, which is the vehicle, that recycle. I think is technically the name, but I might be wrong. Anyhow, let's look at it. There are a ton of face for the action figure of JJ, and then there is the gun. So here, there's the only bit that I didn't like, that in order to have him transform with the helmets, you need to remove his head, remove his hair, plug one piece, then plug the other. That is the only not perfect transformation out of it. That will show later. This is the display stand, pretty basic, nothing to write about. But here we have this super cool thing that I wish other producer would steal from Post Plus. Sorry if it takes me a while. There it is. So fundamentally, you attach it on the back of the display stand. And ta-da! Which is very silly and nice, but I like it. I quite like it. And fundamentally, you put the schematics of the robot on the back, and then you show on the front of it the robot. This is very, very cool. I wish they did it for some robot that I like more, but this is still very, very appreciated. Now we're going to look very quickly on the robot and JJ. So the action figure, I want to say, is like 4 inches, maybe a bit less. Like, it's 3 Lego dudes. And the robot, which the arm or robot vehicle, let's call it as you want, it is 5-6 inches, give it or take. It depends if you put the action figure inside of it or not. The robot out of it has a nice die-cast feeling of it. There is some plastic, but most of it looks very, very good. However, the action figures, the joint feel a bit too loose. Like, they're not being strengthened. Looks very, very loose, which is still able to keep a position, but I think that if you put it in any kind of action pose for 6 months, it will start to do the split. Like, let's say that the robot out of the two looks better done. It is solid. It's not heavy, guys. If you're the kind of person that put your kit on a scale immediately after you got it, well, it's not heavy, but there's still die-cast. So if you're looking into it, sorry, now I did attach half of it, and I had to remove the hair out of JJ, and then plug in the visors, then plug the helmet, and then you put it inside. Now, to attach this, not hard. However, the instruction, the manual, kind of doesn't show you how to put it properly, so it's kind of hanging on the back. And the legs are hanging as well. You just have to kind of pressure them inside or bend them inside. There is really not a place to plug them, which I'm not a giant fan of, unfortunately. Now, the figure has some nice articulation, but it's mainly due, first, the fact that it's a transforming kit, but you cannot use all of it because there is an action figure inside of it. Sorry, on the knees there is a ratchet joint, very, very hard, but also because when it transforms into baggy mode, it cannot really be too floppy. Anyway, so the articulation is a bit hindered by what is the action figure inside of it. You don't want to break it, you don't want to push it. There is still a bit of articulation, so it's not a statue or anything like that. However, how you move it, the action figure move out. Now, the 10-in instruction, you can use it even with other random 3-inch action figures. They give you extension bit for it. But yes, I think it looks the best with him. Let's say that not the most articulated figure. Like if you like very dynamic pose, you can keep a while, but mainly by cheating over it, which means, yeah, you have to move on the back JJ so that it doesn't pop up out of the armor or the legs are just in an angle you don't see. Now, I will not show you the transformation because I thought it would have been terrible. Actually, it's pretty easy and fast. There is a video on the Post Plus website. It is 15 minutes max, beginning to end. Pretty easy for everything other than plugging, like, I think the lights in front of it. I wasn't able to plug them because the peg was too hard. I was very afraid of breaking it. Anyway, wheels roll. Also the one on the front. However, all of them kind of plug nice and strongly. And also the front wheel, but not as firmly, like it moved by 1 millimeter and that can block itself. You see there are pegs that block the position. Overall, transformation is very fun. Like very well engineered. It can roll. You can put your tiny JJ on the top of it. Ta-da! I put him with a weird face. Like the more I mean, this is very on the toy side of a model, which it is. Anyway, overall, very nice transformation. Maybe the most impressive things out of the whole thing. Now we're gonna do a couple of comparisons extremely quickly. There it is, Lego Dude, Steve. Steve is very small in comparison, but no surprises, yeah. It is 1/5 Char, Zack 2 by Char, real great, a tiny bit smaller. Now I just pull off the Gurren Lagann because I like it a lot. So it's there, it's way more awesome, no other way around it, but way different price, kind of, not really, very similar actually. And then we're gonna move with the Baikanfu, still from Post Plus. So yeah, I very like Baikanfu. It's one of my favorite figure, and I can see some common elements with this one, but not everything, like size as a first thing. Now for conclusion. So very quickly, pro and cons. Let's start with cons. So the cons is mainly with the figure of JJ. The joints are not particularly strong, and if any, like I have the feeling it's not gonna last very long. And second negative out of it is that when you put it into armor mode, it doesn't really blocks himself into it. It only hinders what is the the possibility of posing the robot. And that's it for the negative. On the positive side, this is a very, very playable toy. It is well painted where it's painted. There are a ton of accessories. The exposition are very nice. The display stand is nice. So paint job is nice over the robot. Transformation is great, but I might have already said, and I really like this display mode. However, would I recommend it or not? So I am a borderline. I do like the design of robots. I don't really play with them at all. Like I put them in one position and leave them forever. I like really the idea of mechanical things. And this is, however, this is one that goes very toward the toy side out of it. It's very playable. It's very in mind. It's been very well designed for somebody to play with these toys. With the limits that the figure of JJ has, but you can always strengthen the joint if you need to do so. So if you're the kind of collector that play with this kind of stuff, yeah, sure, you would have a blast of it. This is a great toy. However, from purely aesthetic perspective, it's gonna depend on you, whether you like it or not. And for me, it's everything. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of review. Bye, guys. So, will you buy it? Well,